Hello and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Chicagoland Speedway right here in Joliet, Illinois. We have some exciting racing for you right here on the Racers Elite Network, which is powered by iRacing. Ladies and gentlemen, we get ready to go for 134 laps around this 1.5 mile racetrack. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at your race info. Please just ignore those other logos up there. I did just transfer over from another race. However, so we're at Chicagoland Speedway. The track is a 1.5 miles speedway, so we will be going 201 miles today. While we get set up here and everything, we are going to go ahead and take it down trackside to get our qualifying here underway, ladies and gentlemen. As we have now transferred over into qualifying, let's go ahead and take a look. See who's going to make their way on track first. And it sounds like it is going to be Sean Burke in that number 93 Monster Energy sponsored Toyota. There's Sean Burke. We're going to go ahead and take a look here as he takes the green flag here today. As he rides right around the middle of the track through 3 and 4 that time by, and he'll go ahead and put a lap time down of a 30.5, currently on top of the board, as other times are going to start to drop in now. We have Richie Joplin up top now with the 30.50. So a 30.499 for Joplin. Nelson brings it up. Alright, we're going to take a look here at our best times. As a lot of these drivers start to put their lap times down. Let's take a look here at that number 3 Wrangler of Troy Thomas, as his last lap was a 30.478, and the leader's lap was a 30.121. So we're going to see if he can better his lap time here. He'll go ahead and back it down here. Brian LaPrat, he's finished up his lap time. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like that's going to do it. Possibly here for qualifying, as we are still waiting for just a few more drivers to make their qualifying attempts. Alrighty. Let's do this here once again, ladies and gentlemen. Racers Elite right here at Chicagoland Speedway again. Uh, we are going to run 134 laps for 201 miles right here on the Racers Elite Network. So we are very excited to get this race underway, as we have a couple more drivers now making their way out on track. So let's go ahead and make our way down and take a look here, as we have Andrew Teft making his first. I'm sorry, he's now here on his out lap. He's going to come to the start-finish line now, that number 98 Ford Mustang. We're going to see what he can do here on his first lap, as he rides right around the middle lane. It seems like that middle lane is, he slips up high just a little bit out of the corner. But it seems like that middle lane is right about where drivers are wanting to be for their times here, as you see Sean Merriman bring it on up to the 7th spot there. And your first lap here for Andrew Teft is going to be a 30.4. And that will place him currently 10th on the board. Kyle Hess in that number 86, he's about to finish up his second lap, and that will bring him up to the 8th spot with a 30.22, and Andrew Teft will stay back in that 10th spot with a 30.28. As we are still waiting on 5 cars here to take their qualifying run. But we are currently waiting here for Timothy Osborne to make his run. Brandon Puffenbarger in the number 5. John Brancasio in the number 62. And Alan Carter in that number 37 machine. We are still waiting for those guys to make their qualifying attempt. And I am Mike Taylor up here in the booth for you this evening. I hope that you enjoy this presentation right here on Racers Elite Network. As time is still ticking away here. Still not too late to get some of these drivers out and about. ladies and gentlemen. Qualifying should be finishing up here in just a couple moments. And there it is right there, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and take a look now at our starting lineup for the race. Kensley Smith in that number 15 machine will start on the front row, and Brian LaPratt will be down in a second in that 101 machine. Kirby, Wayne Scott, we are still waiting for Kirby to come up on down or come down onto the track to take their place. Truth Hoke in that number 55 AC Delco machine will be starting on the outside of row number 2. Row 3, you got Troy Thomas in that number 3 machine. And joining him in row 3 will be Richie Joplin. Sean Merriman will be on the inside of row number 4 with Kyle Hess. On the outside in that number 86 machine, Sean Burke in the number 93 machine will be joined by Andrew Teft in row number 5. Barry Nelson in that 196 machine will be on the inside of row number 6, with Brandon Puffenberger on the outside of that number 5 machine. Alan Carter in that number 37 Toyota will be on the inside of row number 7, and Timothy Yosburn will join him on the outside of row 7. And waiting still to take to the grid is Kirby Weinscott in that number 10 machine, and finishing out your grid will be John Brain Castillo. I apologize, John, if I mispronounced that. But that right there will be your starting lineup for today's race. And let's go ahead and get these cars rolling. Let's get that off our screen. And let's get racing right here at Chicagoland for the Chicagoland 201 right here on the Racer Elite Network. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The cars are coming out of turn number 4. Let's get this thing underway right here on the Racers Elite Network. And we are green flag racing under the lights here at Chicagoland. Kensley Smith gets a good jump on the crowd as they dive down into turn number 1 for the first time. Side by side for second place of Kirby Wainscott and Brian LaPratt in that 101, still side by side as they come down the back straightaway for the very first time. These drivers have a lot of track to use here at Chicagoland, and something they need to keep in mind as you see Kensley Smith go all the way down to the apron here on the front straightaway is, as we have one in the wall, that'll be the 55 of Truth Hope. But he was able to keep it now off the wall as you see sparks coming out from the bottom of his machine as they come on this curved backstretch. As you see the 55 Truth Hope still having issues since getting to the wall out of turn number 2, as we're starting to see more drivers take advantage of that apron as they dive down here into turn number 1 and 2 here once again. Kensley Smith still out front with Troy Thomas in that number 3, not far behind. And they are looking to go 3 wide back here for that 4th spot. As you see Sean Merriman on the inside of Brian LaPrette in that 101 DeWalt Chevrolet. These drivers are still running side by side as they dive down into turn 1 here once again. Really good racing all around. You can see different lanes that are being used here at Chicagoland, and that curvature on the back straightaway is just something that you don't see at normal racetracks. That is something that is used and unique here at Chicagoland, is that curvature on the back straightaway. As we see on beautiful view there from the area on the track. So taking a look here at Sean Merriman, he's still in that Metallica Dr. Pepper machine. He's still running around there in the 6th spot. Back behind him, they're looking to go 4 wide, possibly even 3 wide down into turn 1, but they get themselves straightened out to only run 2 wide for the time being, but they are 3 wide now, back behind Alan Carter in that number 37 machine as they come down the back. Just so you guys can get a general idea of that curvature. And as you saw when we went to that view, one car was up into the wall, but everybody still seems to be facing straight at the moment. Let's take a look here at Troy Thomas in that 2nd spot. He has a lot of company behind him in Richie Joplin and Kirby Wainscott in the number 89 and 10 respectively. Continue to run around this speedway. A lot of action happening behind them still. Beginning with the 37 of Alan Carter, and then right behind him you got Kyle Hess and Truth Vogt in those machines back there, respectively, still trying to find their way back towards the front. And here comes Brian LaPrette onto the inside of the 55 of Truth Vogt. He's looking to take a look at the spot into the top 8. 86 machine on the inside of Sean Burke in that number 93 machine. They're trying to get themselves sorted out here as they ride around the high side here in turns 1 and 2. Oh, I'm sorry, in 3 and 4. That was 3 and 4. Good racing here for the racers to lead single series race here at Chicago. Let's go ahead and take a look here at Kensley Smith, your current race leader, in that beautiful number 15 Napa Chevrolet. And then the full throwback to Michael Waltrip and company. He has pulled himself to just around a 2-second lead over Richie Joplin, who has a Kirby Wainscott in the number 10 all over his back bumper as Wainscott takes to the high side as he's trying to make his way to get around Joplin for that 2nd spot. We're just going to stay here and Joplin is using the good method is take away Wainscott momentum into these corners. So if you notice, Joplin, he'll stay high up in the corner and then he'll drift down low, causing Wainscott to have to get off of his throttle, and then he'll take it right back away from him coming out of the corner by slipping up in front of him. So that's a really good move there by Joplin is to hold Wayne Scott. As you see, Wayne Scott changing up here in turns 1 and 2, and he gets onto the inside of Joplin for the second spot. And now they are going to drag race down this back straightaway as they now dive down into turn number 1 or 3. They continue to run side by side for that second spot, and that will bring Sean Merriman in that number 18 machine to their back bumper. And now Merriman, he's going to start making some noise up here in the top two to try to bring some noise and get out front so he can have a chance to chase down your race leader of Kensley. And here he comes onto the inside of Wayne Scott, and he will now move up. Will try to move up to that third spot as they come side by side down here on the front straightaway. And here comes Troy Thomas. He's looking to make it 3 wide through the middle, heading down into turn number 1, but thinks better of it. And here comes the 93 of Sean Burke making some noise. Now with that number 93 machine trying to take over some spots here. He's wanting to start moving up, and we have contact, and Truth Hope got tagged just a little bit there, but the 37 of Alan Carter, he went ahead and let off, and that allowed Truth Hope to gather himself up in turns 1 and 2. That was an incredible save there by Truth Hope, as they continue to run side by side now. With Andrew Taft around this speedway. We'll go ahead and just take a full lap here and just enjoy the speed. Taking a look at Sean Burke here on the inside of that number 98 unable to make it happen, so he'll just tuck right behind currently and he'll climb up towards that outside wall. And they are now 3 wide. Alan Carter threading the needle there, taking it 3 wide on the exit of turn 2, and he's going to try to now make a look on the inside of that number 93 Mustang Energy machine to try to take over that spot as they once again go 3 wide right here on the front straightaway, and this time it's the 5 of Brandon Puffenbarger making it 3 wide up the middle on the front straightaway. Through turns 1 and 2 now, and the group in front of them, they're possibly trying to make it 3 wide. And here comes the 98. He is going to make it 3 wide in front of this group, and he will complete for the 2 lap pass, and he'll slide up right in front of the 55 of Truth Hope. So that will put Hoke back down to that 7th spot, but he is not giving up on that outside of next to that number 18 of Sean Merriman. Really good racing back here for the 6th to just about the rest of the field, pretty much. They're having a really good battle back here, while Kensley Smith continues to have just about a 2-second lead on 2nd place of Richie Joplin. Richie Joplin just about a 1-second lead to 3rd place of Troy Thomas. So right now, this is pretty much where our battles are. So we're just going to hang out here in these guys for a little bit. As you see, the 5 of Brandon Puffenberger out into the wall out of turn number 4, and that will drop him all the way back to last place. That was very unfortunate there for Puffenberger in that number 5 machine. As we come back to this group here that is being led by the 3-car of Troy Thomas. So this whole entire battle is actually for third on back. None of these drivers really giving much way, and they are all racing with everything they've got to get to the front here to try to have a chance to get to Kensley Smith, your race leader. As you see the 55 of Truth Hope tap the wall coming out of turn number 2, and that's going to allow Alan Carter to make his run onto the inside of Hope out of turn number 4 as they drag race now down here on the front straightaway. And the 93 of Sean Burke, he was thinking about making it 3 wide for a moment, as he does here in the middle of turns 1 and 2. They will be just about 3 wide when they come out of the corner, and they're going to now drag race 3 wide down the backstretch, down into turn number 3, and they will go double file as Alan Carter got into the wall there on entry to turn 3. And let's come back here to Barry Nelson in that 196 machine. He is trying to start making some moves towards the front now as the drivers in front of him continue to try to run 3 wide. When they do that, that allows him to get right onto the back bumper. As you see, he's now making a move on the outside of Merriman for the 9th spot. As of right now, it doesn't seem like either lane has an advantage, but that could very well change as this race goes on. Because you got cars all over the track. There's like 4 different racing lines going on right now, and it seems like none of the lanes right now currently have an advantage. So it's going to be all about how these drivers handle their race cars. As you see Barry Nelson get up into the wall here once again, heading into turn number 3. But right now, that's not hurting his momentum, as they are continuing to run side by side. Even up here for that 3rd spot, Andrew Teft on the inside of the 3 of Troy Thomas. He's looking to make a move as they drag race here down into turn number 3, and he will complete the pass. But the question will be now, will Thomas just have enough momentum to possibly bring it back to the inside, which that will be a no-go for Troy Thomas, as he will get to the back bumper of Teft, but it will not be enough to make a move to get around him. Really good racing all around. I'm not sure exactly who to watch here, as we have Truth Hoke and Sean Burke duking it out here for that 5th spot. And then right behind them, you've got Alan Carter still going 3 wide with people for that 6th, 7th spot. So I don't know who to watch here. As you see Barry Nelson make a late dive down to the inside, trying to get that next spot, but unable to hold the momentum coming out of turn 2. So he will fall back, actually lose a spot here to a couple people, and we have the 86 of Kyle Hess up in the wall. Kyle Hess in that Batman-sponsored number 86 Chevrolet. That's very unfortunate for him, as he'll lose the pack here. As we jump back up here to this front pack here, things settle down just a little bit for the moment. But let's come back out here, take a look here at your race leader, Kensley Smith. He has led all the laps so far, as he continues to march around this speedway. Kinsley Smith currently has led all 32 laps for the moment as he continues to march around this speedway. Kinsley Smith out of Tarboro, North Carolina, as he does have company right on back of him, and that is going to be Richie Joplin in that number 89 machine, as he's making, Kinsley Smith, he's coming down pit road on lap 34, or just about 33 actually, as he will give up the race lead and come down for fresh Goodyear tires. That is very interesting, and that will give it over to your new race leader, Richie Joplin, out of Hudson, North Carolina. And this will be his second lap that he has led today. Go. Now that's looking much better. As we're watching Richie Joplin come around the back straightaway. Now your second place now is going to be Andrew Teff in that number 98 machine out of Hope Valley, Rhode Island. We are now currently watching as these drivers start making their way down onto pit road. So far we have 3 cars that still need to come down pit road. That's going to be Andrew Tevin, that number 98 machine, Sean Burke out of Castle Rock, Colorado, and Sean Merriman out of Winchester, Virginia. We're still waiting for these drivers all to come down pit road, as the rest of the field, and here comes Andrew Teff down pit road and Sean Burke, and that will hand over the race lead currently over to Sean Merriman in that number 18 Ford Mustang, as it looks like now everybody currently has come down pit road except for your race leader of Sean Merriman. Here he comes, coming down pit road now, getting woed down. Almost, he may have missed it. Let's find out. Let's see what. Maybe he got lucky and got it woed down just enough. But that's going to be very close to find out here, as we come back out here to Kinsley Smith, and he will take over that top spot out of Tarboro, North Carolina. So that will put Kinsley Smith back out front. Richie Joplin, he will come out in that second spot, just a little over 2.5 seconds back from your race leader. Then Troy Thomas in that number 3 machine is not that too far behind. And then Andrew Teft in that number 98 machine will come rally out about fourth, as he is now taking a look to keep the 55 with Truth Hook behind him. Truth Hook, that last time by, just ran his fastest lap of a 30.20. Here through turns 3 and 4 here once again, coming back to the front straightaway. Hocus still trying to figure out how to get around the number 98 of Andrew Teft as they dive down here into turns 1 and 2. You can't pass somebody running the same line, so Truth is going to have to try to figure out just about where he is comfortable enough to run. About that, guys. I'm still learning the new system here for the tower here from SDK Gaming. Very awesome overlays for us, and they just came out with the beautiful overlays that you are seeing right here on the Racers Elite Network. Everybody's starting to fan out here just a little bit, as we now have action here with Kyle Hess and Kirby Wayne-Scott. Hess trying to take over that 7th spot from Wayne-Scott as they exit turn number 4, and they will drag race here down the front straightaway. Wayne-Scott not wanting to give up that spot very easily as they dive down into turn number 1. As they still continue to run side by side, he will get in front for the moment as they come through this curve back straightaway. And the 86 up into the wall, and that's going to allow the 37 of Alan Carter to come make a move on the inside. And he's going to gain 2 spots right there on the front straightaway. And here they come out of turn number 2 once again to come down this curve away. Instead of a straightaway, it's going to be a curve away from now on. Still awesome racing side by side back here for the 6th, 7th spot. And for the time being, it looks like Kyle Hess is going to take over that spot. And here comes Alan Carter trying to take over that 8th spot from Kirby Wayne-Scott, but unable to do that as they head down into turn number 3. So they'll currently run single file for the moment. And everything currently is spread out here at Chicagoland Speedway. Let's go ahead and jump up here once again, catch up with your race leader. Hensley Smith currently has led 43 laps here today at Chicagoland as he continues to tick away these times. You know, Hensley Smith, he put down a really fast lap time here in qualifying, and starting first. So far, he's currently first. Let's take a look here, see who has the best time. So he does currently have possibly the fastest lap. 6.867. No, Joplin. Sean Joplin. Thomas may have the faster lap. Yep. Yeah, so he has currently faster lap times than Kensley Smith at the moment. And so that's going to start bringing Joplin up towards your race leader a little bit more, as that time he was still just a little over 3/10 of a second quicker than your race leader of Kensley Smith. Really good racing currently for these drivers. Let's go ahead and take a look. Let's go ahead and take a look here at your last 5 laps. For the last 5 laps, Joplin has been a lot quicker than your race leader of Kensley Smith. So, and once again, yeah, he's a lot quicker there as well. So he's slowly but surely reeling him in here as the time goes on. Let's bounce back out here around to some fellow drivers out here. Andrew Teff, we got Sean Burke, we got Truth Hope currently in 6th spot. Kyle Hess is still being chased by Kirby Wayne Scott, and he's still being chased by Alan Carter in that number 37 machine. So these three have a possible good fight brewing currently. Timothy Yasbrand in the number 192 machine, he's 10th. Brian LaPratt in the 101 machine out of Unionville, Michigan. Currently 11th. Barry Nelson in that number 196 machine. He's currently just riding around in that 12th spot. Sean Merriman in that number 18 machine. He's going to be riding around here in the 13th spot. And Brandon Puffenbarger currently off the track. And John Casio, he is not on track. He did not start the event. As we continue to monitor here, Kensley Smith in that number 15 machine. Let's go ahead and give you the gyro cam, just to give you guys a general idea of how steep these bakings are here at Chicagoland. And when they come out, as you can see, it's not exactly flat here on the back straightaway, so these drivers are able to still hold that heavy momentum even though there's a small curvature on the back straightaway here. So that helps, tremendously, as well as, taking care of the tires when they come up here onto the high banks. Richie Joplin now just a little over 1 second behind your race leader of Kensley Smith. So he's slowly but surely, reeling in these drivers something that we want to keep an eye on here is your pit. The last time they came in was right around lap 33 for Smith, 36 for Joplin, 35 for Thomas, and 37 for Taft. And so we are working lap number 61 of this event. So we're going to start seeing our second round of green flag pit stops here in just a few moments. And so the real question now will be is who's going to change it up? Are they going to try to go a little bit further than they did their first run? Are they going to try to do a little bit sooner? And that is all still remains to be seen, as there is now just about a half a second gap between your race leader and Richie Joplin in that number 89 machine. The gap is now just a half a second that separates your top two drivers as they head down into turn number one. Smith on that very inside, and so does Joplin, so he's trying to use the same momentum as Smith as they come out of turn two. And we have Joplin who's having just a little bit of radio difficulties there on the back straightaway. Hopefully he can get that taken care of. As you see Smith hit that apron and kind of lose a little bit of speed there because he got sideways. He's got to be very careful of that. If he's going to use the apron here on the front straightaway, he needs to make sure he hits it right every single time, because this time around that allowed Joplin to get right onto the back bumper of Smith. And it looks like we will have a race for your race lead here in just a moment, as Smith comes back down onto the apron and comes back up in front of Joplin. But Joplin, he is not giving up yet, as he's trying to run that second lane, moves himself down right behind Smith, and he's going to use that momentum to possibly slingshot as he goes to the outside and he's looking to make a run. He's unable to get to his full outside, but he might try the crossover and pull down next to the number 15 machine, unable to make it happen. So he'll continue to stay on the outside of Joplin as they now head down into turn number one. Joplin is going to have to hold a lot of momentum if he's going to try to attempt to pass on the outside. As you'll see here, he's now running just about side by side with him, unable to make the pass. And he will slip down right behind Smith and still unable to make it happen, as Smith goes back down towards that grass on the infield and come back out up against the wall as they continue to run side by side. Your race leaders are starting to battle it out big time. Kinsley Smith pitted 33 laps ago. Joplin pitted just about 39 laps ago. So it's going to be really interesting to see how long Smith plans on staying out and how long Joplin plans on staying out here as well, as these two race leaders continue to battle it out front here for the race lead, as they have currently almost a 6-second gap back to third. So right now this is where the race is going to be won, is right here, but possibly between these two drivers as they come out of turn number 4. Once again, Smith down on the apron. Joplin still running that middle lane, but he's just unable to make any kind of ground on the front straightaway, so he may need to change up his solution for himself as he's trying to figure out how to get around Smith for that race lead. And it looks like we do have some drivers starting to come down pit road. It looks like Kyle Hess came down. Alan Carter's down on pit road now. Barry Nelson just came down pit road. So our next set of pit road cycle has started. Now the question will be is how long do they wait to come out? Wait how long for them to come in, and here comes Kensley Smith giving up the race lead once again to Richie Joplin, and he's going to come on down to get service. Troy Thomas in that number 3 machine, he's coming down pit road as well. Kirby Wainscott, he's already down on pit road getting service on his machine. Richie Joplin, he's going to ride around this speedway, working the high side, coming back down to the low side, and he's going to start breaking it down early to bring his Chevrolet down onto pit road. That will hand the race lead over to Andrew Teft in that number 98 machine. Teft has had a decent run here so far here at Chicagoland, and he's got the 93 right up his back bumper of Sean Burke. Now the question will be, how long do they wait to come in to get service on their machine, as this here currently is your battle for the race lead, with pits being very, I want to say, valuable, I would want to say. And I want to come down for tires, and these two drivers came down on lap 37, so they're working on just about another 37 lap run here. I would imagine that they're not going to want to wait too much longer to come down to get 4 fresh Goodyear tires. As you see, Andrew Teft and Sean Burke almost miss it once again, and that was able to make it work for them. The only guy left now to come down pit road is going to be the number 18 of Sean Merriman. As he exits turn number 4, he will go ahead and stay out here once again. And he pitted on lap 38, so he can probably go about another lap or 2 more than what the other 2 drivers have been able to do. Sean Merriman out of Winchester, Virginia, is still waiting for him to come down pit road. And he is running a little bit more than a second off pace from the rest of the field. I don't know if this is a smart strategy or not. As you see, he will now go ahead and bring his car down pit road. And when it's all said and done, Kensley Smith, he will take over that top spot here once again. Kensley Smith once again out front here at Chicagoland. That last time, the difference in pit lap times for Richie Joplin was a 42-second, 47-millisecond run for Joplin, where his crew had him in and out in just 40.88 degrees. Yeah, that's a big difference there for their time on pit road. This time around, the fastest person on pit road was Andrew Teft. He only spent 38.82 seconds down on pit road. That's including his pit stop. So really good run there for Andrew Teft. Kensley Smith continues to run out front and still putting a bigger gap between Richie Joplin and himself. It is now to just about a 3.5-second lead between the two, and everybody else here currently is kind of more spread out. So let's come back here. This is probably one of our closest battles here. It's going to be Alan Carter in the 37 and Kyle Hess in the number 86 machine. Kyle Hess out of Memphis, Tennessee. He's had a very decent run here so far here in Chicagoland, hanging out around at the top 6 area. Currently running P7. And mine as well. Let's go ahead and do a through the field. And we're going to start off here with Kensley Smith in that number 15 machine. Kensley has led from the beginning in that number 15 Napa Chevrolet, as he continues to dominate and put almost 4 seconds onto second place Richie Joplin. Joplin doing a phenomenal job in that number 89 machine out of Hudson, North Carolina, as he's still trying to figure out ways how to catch the back bumper of Smith. As Smith has a very strong dominant car tonight here at Chicagoland. We're taking a look here now at Troy Thomas in that number 3 in the 3. He has had a very strong showing here today as well. Andrew Teft, that is right behind him in that number 98 Ford Mustang. He has one of our biggest gainers, gaining 6 positions since we went green flag racing. Sean Burke, he's gone up 4 positions since the start of this race. And he's been a little quiet shark here in the top 5 so far today. Alan Carter in the number 37 machine, just riding it out here in the 6th spot, not really making too much noise. He's gained 7 spots. Kirby Wayne Scott, he hasn't had much luck. He's slipped back 4 spots to that 7th spot from his original starting spot. Kyle Hess in the number 86, like I said earlier, he's having a pretty decent run today. Truth Hoke, he's been having a big up and down day, mostly down in that number 55 Chevrolet. Things just hasn't been very good to him the last couple of weeks. Hopefully we can see a big difference for Truth Hoke here in the next week or 2 here with Racers Elite. Our biggest faller so far in the race is going to be Brian LaPratte in that 101 DeWalt Chevrolet. He's been struggling today, and like I said, he's fallen 8 spots since the green flag dropped just a little bit ago, and unfortunately, it's not really too much of a help. I forgot where I was going with that. Let's go ahead and jump about 4 seconds back behind him. You've got Sean Merriman. He is hanging out here in the 11th spot. And he's got company back there from Barry Nelson in the 196. Something that we don't see very much from Barry Nelson is being back here in this in the back of the field. He's usually up front. Timothy Yasbrand, he's out here on track, running around in that 192 Chevrolet. And then Brandon Puffenbarger still is sitting down on pit road. Let's take a look here, see what some of our closest racing currently is. looks like it might be with Andrew Taft in that third spot. He's getting company from Troy Thomas in that number 3 machine. So we're going to keep an eye out here on this little battle right here as things start to ramp up here in the late stages of this race. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get some stuff here from chat here on YouTube. So make sure, if you guys haven't done so, let's go ahead and make sure we hit that subscribe button. Okay, that every subscription to this channel is free. Make sure you guys hit it as the battle is intensifying between Andrew Taft and the number 3 of Thomas, as Thomas is looking to try to make a move here on the back straightaway. Real quick, I just want to give a shout out in chat. We have Charles Joplin saying hi. He's a new guy to the league. Welcome to the league, Charles. We are so glad that you are out here. Doug Burns, Brancocchio. Okay, is it Coach Caccio? I think that's how you say it. Well, Brancaccio. Oh, that makes sense, Gerald. Brancaccio. I definitely appreciate that, you know, getting help with those drivers. Unfortunately, Brancaccio, he is not racing with us at the moment. You don't see a 29 sign you up. Yes, William, man, sign up, buddy. This league is a very awesome league ran by this guy right here that you see on your screen of Andrew Taft. As he continues to try to hold off Thomas right in his rearview mirror. So this is a pretty decent run right here. You're going to get in trouble, but let's go, Richie Charlie. All right. Let's get them going. We appreciate that subscription there, Gerald Poole. And you have raced with him before. Okay, cool. Yeah, you guys. Open up the UI right here in iRacing and look up Racers Elite. Let me see if I can snag. Racers Elite right here. So they do have quite a few. So for their single events like we are doing right now, I will post in their ID for this series that you're seeing right here now. That's going to be their code. It's going to be 10780. That is their code here as we see this battle for third starting to ramp up more. But if you just look up Final League, put in Racers Elite, they've got a very cool group running on Fridays, which is their Super Speedway series. You know, definitely come check them out. They're a lot of fun to do that. They have also got an Xfinity series out there, I believe. I think I saw a Cup series out there. It's a good time here in Racers Elite, and I'm very honored that, you know, I was brought out to and reached out to, and they said, hey, come on out, join us, broadcast for us. I'm like, heck yeah, I got you guys. As we still continue to watch this battle brewing between Andrew Teft and Troy Thomas. These two cars are really starting to ramp it up here. That's awesome, William Mann Jr. I've heard he's a pretty good driver for sure. I just want to jump back here to Alan Carter and Kirby Wainscott here in the number 37 and 10 car. As we see Wainscott still having some radio communication issues that he needs to try to get taken care of from his crew next time down pit road. But currently at this point, Alan Carter is still just riding very well here in front, not giving up much real estate to allow Wainscott to catch up to them here. And it looks like the run between Andrew Teft and Troy Thomas, it has gotten a little bit more separated to just about a half a second between the two drivers. So we're going to keep an eye here at Kirby Wainscott, who's trying to get that 5th spot away from Alan Carter now, as he has a very strong run coming out of turn number 4 that time, but still unable to make it. Richie's primary sponsor is your brother. That is wicked awesome. As let's go ahead and take a jump over here to Joplin. Now let's go ahead and zoom up here a little bit here on Richie Joplin, that number 89 machine. And let's go ahead and take a look at that beautiful hood right there. Alley Wheel Repair right there on that number 89 Richie Joplin machine. I'm jumping back here real quick. Kirby Wainscott, he's going to come on down pit road now to get service on his machine with 33 laps to go. I think this here will put everybody right in that fuel window to make it the remainder of this race. So with Kirby Wainscott coming in, Barry Nelson, he's now coming down pit road. So pit road once again, getting ready to get busy down here as you see Kensley Smith continuing to march around this speedway, trying to put anybody and everybody he can a lap down, as he is quickly approaching Sean Merriman in that number 18 Ford Mustang. Richie Joplin in that number 89 machine, he's coming down pit road now. So he'll give up that 2nd spot to Andrew Teft and Troy Thomas. They will fall in the 2nd and 3rd respectively. Kyle has made his way down pit road. Here comes your race leader of Kensley Smith down pit road for his final pit stall of the day. And that will hand the race lead over to Andrew Teft and Troy Thomas as they continue to kind of sort it out here a little bit here in the closing laps here with 30 laps left. Alan Carter in the number 37, he's in. Truth Hoke, he is in as well. Let's take a look this next time by, see who's going to come out or come down pit road. Kensley Smith is now left, and Troy Thomas, he will make his way down pit road in his number 3 Wrangler Chevrolet. We still got just about 4 drivers waiting to see when they will come down pit road. Andrew Teft will continue to stay out here on the front straightaway as he continues to put people laps down. But again, the question is going to be, when will he decide to come down pit road? He's got a 20.5 second gap to second place of Merriman in that number 18 machine. Timothy Osbrand looks like he may start me coming down pit road possibly here. Yeah, he's coming down pit road now. He will drop one lap down now. Kensley Smith, he is now just about 28 seconds back to your race leader of Andrew Teft, who still needs to make a pit stop. So we already know when he comes down, he is not going to be able to get out in front of Kensley Smith, as Brian Pratt, he brings his number 101 DeWalt Chevrolet down onto pit road now. Yes, they are. Alloy wheel repair specialist out of Greensville, South Carolina here, as you see Andrew Teff now making his way down pit road. And Richie is one of your team drivers for Flaming Karma Racing. All right. That is awesome out here supporting your fellow teammate. I love it. And this will turn the race over here to Sean Merriman, who will have just about a 5-second lead here on second place of Kensley Smith. And so once Merriman comes down pit road, that will end our pit cycle here. Start to possibly low down a little bit. Nope, he's going to stay out here once again. And he's trying to put Truth Hope a lap down on fresh tires, but that's not going to end out too well for Merriman, as Hope, he will start to pull away from Merriman here in the closing laps. We got just under 24 laps remaining here today in Chicagoland. Sean Merriman continue to march around. He will stay out here once again. He last pitted on lap 75. I don't think there's a way that he can make it all the way to the end, as we have 23 laps to go this time. Yeah, so he's still going to have to come in for his last pit stop. There's no way he's going to be able to make it all the way to the end here. Kensley Smith is now only 2 seconds behind your race leader. And last time down pit road, Kensley Smith, he did have a better stop. And Sean Merriman, he will now bring his number 18 Ford Mustang down onto pit road. And that, again, ladies and gentlemen, will turn the race over to Kensley Smith. Everybody now is pretty much all spread out, except these two back here for Alan Carter, who's currently sitting in that 8th spot, and he's getting chased down by Kyle Hess in the number 86 machine. Everything currently all spread out through this speedway. No car currently really making any big advantages or taking a big advantage of yet. And right now, Kyle Hess is just about 0.3 seconds behind Alan Carter here in the 37 machine. These two drivers currently start getting a little bit more spread out here. So back up here and catch up with Sean Burke in that number 93 machine. Just, yeah, just about 2 seconds back. It'll be Kyle Hess. So there's still a chance that that Hess and Carter could catch Burke, and make a run for that 6th spot. So I mean, there's still time for that. Just as we now have just under 20 laps. So if you do it right, you just might be able to catch them here near the end. Kensley Smith is still out front, out of Tarboro, North Carolina. He's put on an absolute dominant show right here on Racers Elite Network, showing why he is boss. He has currently led 98 laps of tonight's 134 laps, and we still got 17 laps to go. I think he's going to cross over into the 100 lap mark for this event. He's obviously definitely has gained the most points here for leading the most laps. .6 seconds is the separation between your race leader of Kensley Smith and Richie Joplin. Looking at the telemetry here, Kyle Hess just got passed by Truth Hope as they come out of turn number 4. So Hess, he's starting to have a little bit of issues in that number 86 machine when it comes to the possible tire wear. He could have been pushing a little too hard, and he was just trying to catch up to Alan Carter, but that just will not seem to be the case, as we have Alan Carter making a move on Sean Burke in that number 93 out of turn number 4. The racing back here for 6 is starting to heat up as we continue to watch here Alan Carter get around that number 93 of Sean Burke. I think Truth Hope and Kyle Hess, they're just a little too far back to try to make anything happen and mix it up with Carter and Burke. So they're going to just hang out here for just a little bit and see what happens here in the long run between these two drivers. These two here are still just hanging out, having a little bit of fun here, at least 6 seconds. Yep. Richie's pit stops did kill him, yes. Let me see if I can actually bring up that info for you, actually. So I know that... Let's see. So here's how it looks, for their pit stop laps. So Joplin came in 1 lap earlier than Smith. So he kind of short pitted himself here a little bit on this time. Pit stop times right there to show you how. So Joplin was actually quicker that first stop, but then Smith was faster the last two, and the one that really does matter the most is this time here, your total mount time on pit road. He had Smith had a 2-second, almost a 2-second better in and out time than Joplin on that second stop, and then they kind of both have one faster pit stop. So yeah, you know, Joplin's pit stops, you know, they weren't perfect, and he needed them to be perfect. So unfortunately, that's what you get, I guess, and that's where a lot of Joplin's issues came into play there. Let's go ahead and catch up here with Richie Joplin. He has led just 4 laps so far here today. He is still trying to track down your race leader, who has opened up just shy of a 5-second lead. But as you see here, Joplin and Smith, they are both running just about the same lap times. So there's really no surprise there that neither one of them have been, you know, really standing out. Let's see here this time. Yeah, Smith ran just about a 10th quicker this last lap than Joplin did, as he gets around that number 93, Sean. We have been green flagged this entire time. We have 4 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. And at this time, let's go ahead and catch up to your race leader of Kensley Smith, as he continues to march his way around this speedway, and he has led 112 of the 143 or 147, 37 laps, something like that. 134 laps, yep. 134 laps for 201 miles. It's right there in front of my face. So he's still marching his way around, as he got the popsicle sticks from our awesome flagman Barney, who's been employed since 2008. He's never missed a single day in his life. He's been on top of that flag stand almost 24/7. And then some. And here comes Kensley Smith out of turn number 4. He will get the white flag this time by Kensley Smith. Absolutely dominated this race here at Chicagoland by leading 115 laps. He has less than a 3/4 and a half, now a half mile left in this race. Ladies and gentlemen, out of turn 4, your Racers Elite winner will be the number 15 of Kensley Smith, followed by Richie Joplin in that number 89, Andrew Taft. He's got pressure on him from the 3 of Troy Thomas. and he will be able to get in front of Thomas out of turn four. What a good try there for Thomas. And here comes Kirby Wainscott to round out your top five out of turn number four. Across start finish line. Alan Carter will bring it home sixth. Truth Hope will bring it home seventh. Kyle Hess eighth. Sean Merriman ninth. Brian LaPratte will bring it home 10th. Barry Nelson will bring it home 11th. Timothy Osborne will bring it home 12th. Sean Burke will bring it home in 13th. Brandon Puffenbarger 14th. And John, uh, what was that? Brancaccio. He will be 15th with a did not start. As we have your race winner down doing burnouts. Let's come here. Let's see if we can get a word if they come into the booth or not. And while we are waiting on that, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and once again take a look officially at your race results, even though I did just do the whole rundown as they crossed. But let's go ahead and take a look here at your race results. We have Kensley Smith, your race winner for Driving Extreme Incorporated. Richie Joplin. You got Andrew Teft in the number 98 machine for Chicken Coop. Troy Thomas, he'll bring it home fourth in that number 3 Misfits Racing machine. Kirby Wainscott in that number 10 for Chicken Coop Racing as well. Uh, then you've got Alan Carter in the number 37 machine, bringing home 6th. 7th, you have Truth Hoke. He was able to battle himself back up here for Misfits Racing and get into 7th place. Kyle Hess in the number 86 machine for High, Wide, and Handsome. He will be your first car, one lap down in the 8th spot. Sean Merriman in the number 18 for Keegan Merriman Racing. Brian LaPratte in that 101 machine. He will be in your 10th spot to round out your top 10. Barry Nelson in 11th. Timothy Osbrand 12th. Sean Burke 13th. Brandon Puffenbarger in the number 5 will bring it home 14th. And John Brancaccio will bring it home 15th. Let's go ahead and take a look here, see if we have anybody here in our waiting room, and we absolutely do. Let's go ahead and get your race winner up here into the booth. Kensley Smith, this is Mike up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Kensley, what an incredible dominant performance for you in that number 15 Napa Chevrolet. Coming out here to Chicagoland, I know the track was a last minute change for everybody. Did you think that you'd be able to come out here to Chicagoland and dominate this much here under the lights?
I usually do pretty good at Chicagoland, so I was pretty hopeful. There's a couple guys that I haven't raced with in here, so I wasn't really too sure what to expect from them. But one of those guys was Richie, and he was able to catch me uh, pretty good in the long run. So kind of had to time my pit stops right to be able to when he caught me, dive down pit road and gain my time back coming off of pit road with fresher tires. But hats off to Richie. He was really fast on the long runs.
Oh, absolutely. He was definitely, matching pace with you. Like in the short run, you would, pull away, but then as it goes on, he was starting to match your speed. So, I was secretly kind of rooting for him to get up there to race you for that lead. And man, you had solid pit stops throughout the whole night. Um, were you worried at all? Because I know that this track's pit entrance is kind of funky with the banking right there where you need to get off. Were you worried about that at all coming down pit road?
I'm always worried about pit entry. I just when I knew my pit stops was coming up, I would just keep calm and just make sure I hit my marks right, get on the brakes at the right time, and um, I usually try to get on the brakes before hitting the apron, so that way I kind of got the grip and kind of already got it slowing down, and then just let it coast a little bit and get back on the brakes. So that kind of helped me, just having that plan in the back of my head on how to do my pit stops, and just making sure I kept an eye on my speed, and make sure I didn't get caught speeding or slide through my box or anything like that.
Awesome. And before I let you go this evening, do you have anybody you would like to thank?
First and foremost, of course, Andrew does an amazing job putting this league on. We do a lot of races throughout the week, so for him to juggle pretty much most of that by himself, it's kind of daunting for me to think about me doing that. So hats off to Andrew for always putting on great shows for us, and of course you in the booth, doing a great job tonight. I'm pretty sure. Um, and my wife and my daughter, they love watching these. Probably gonna go in the living room and watch this one with them. Um, and then all my guys, all my teammates at Driving Extreme Inc.
Awesome. All right, Kesley, thank you so much for popping in to have a word with us. Congratulations on your win today here at Chicagoland, and we will catch you on the flip side.
Thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, Kensley Smith, your race winner. Let's go ahead and drag in Richie Joplin, your second place finisher. Richie, do you got a copy?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Hey, all right, Richie. So you had a phenomenal race all race long. You were a little bit slow, right out of the gate after your pit stops. But then maybe about 10, 15 laps into it, you started matching Kensley's lap times. Do you think you would have been able to catch him at all?
Well, if I do better on my pit stops, I'm not that fast on the get go here at Chicagoland for some reason. It takes me a good 10, 15 laps to get going. Uh, and then I just burned it up on the last pit stop trying to catch him. That was my bad.
Right. Yeah, I know, with it being the closing laps and it's right in that moment where you're just like wanting to go 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 and just at sometimes you just can't go and but you had a very strong run all around tonight with those sudden change in track today. Did you think you would be able to perform as good as you did today?
No, I don't really. At Chicagoland, it's kind of iffy for me. I mean, sometimes I could do good, sometimes I can't. I'm not a big fan of this track, but I'm more hard on myself than anything. I want everything to be perfect. So, eh, that's just the way I am.
Oh, absolutely. And before I do let you go today, is there anybody that you would like to thank?
Oh, yeah, I'm a sponsor, Allied Wheel Repair out of Greenville, South Carolina, and my paint guy, Flaming Carmen Design, and Gerald Poole for sticking that sponsor on me. And I have to get a shout out to Navy Joe Coffee, too. They're one of my sponsors on another car. So I need to give a shout out to them.
Absolutely. Congratulations, Richie Joplin, on your second place finish. I'm going to go ahead and throw you back down.
All right, I appreciate it.
Alrighty, buddy. We'll see you on the flip side. Ladies and gentlemen, Richie Joplin, driver of that number 98 machine. Let's go ahead and get your third place finisher, Andrew Teft. Andrew, do you got a copy, sir?
Yeah, I got you.
Andrew, what an incredible race all around today, even with the last minute track change. Uh, did you perform as well as you thought you would here today at Chicagoland?
I think I was missing a little something. I did kind of qualify poorly, so I had to start at the back and then by the time I got toward the front of the pack, Kensley was quite a ways ahead already. So would have helped if I just qualified a little bit better. And Charles was doing a really good job of managing his tires. I thought I was kind of saving mine at the starts, and I'd reel him in a little bit, and all of a sudden it was like he just found another gear and he could drive away. So I guess my line was probably just off a little bit somewhere, and when I practiced earlier, it was still sunlight, so we were using the top a little bit more. But I think as the temps came down, we all sort of migrated down to the bottom, and I just didn't quite have what they had, I think. And the tires, kind of rambling, but the tires, they didn't seem to really fall off that much. Like you'd have a few really good laps on them, and then they'd kind of just plateau, and we'd all start running the same lap time. So it was kind of hard to pass, kind of hard to run somebody down and find an advantage on tires. I was trying to go long, hoping that they would matter at some point, and they just never really seemed to matter that much.
Yeah, definitely here at Chicagoland. I mean, we did run caution free this whole entire race, and so we didn't really have much of a pit strategy, in favors for anybody. Um, I know, like for Joplin, he was struggled at the beginning of his runs, and then he would start matching Kensley's pace, and then you struggled maybe like 4 or 5 laps or so, and then you found your pace and you matched Joplin, and so at that point it kind of just like evened itself out.
Yeah, toward the very end, I'd start to push a little bit, and it seems like they were able to keep cutting. But I'm a right foot braker. I don't drag brakes, so maybe I could have found an advantage there, but more of a lifter. Um, yeah, maybe I can find some in-car replays and go learn something.
Absolutely. And before we let you go today, Andrew, do you have anybody that you would like to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank you for helping out in the booth. I want to thank everybody for racing clean tonight. That was 134 green flag laps. Don't see that very often in league, so just want to thank everybody for their part in that. And I want to thank our servicemen and women, friends, family, team, everybody that tunes in to watch, shows up to race. And if you don't mind doing us a favor, hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel homepage. We're trying to get to 1,000. I'm making some pretty good progress, but could use a few more, so we appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a free button to press. It only just takes one click of your mouse or your finger. On behalf of Racers Elite Network, I'm Mike Taylor. This is Andrew Taft, third place finisher in tonight's event. We want to thank everybody so much for joining us today, and we will see you guys in the next one. Until then, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, happy time zone.